Hello everyone. For today's video, we'll go through how we can configure Entra ID with Wazuh using SAML for single sign-on. So basically, we need two parts. First, Microsoft Entra ID configuration and information, and then some information for the Wazuh indexer and configuration. So we'll go through all that process now. Okay. So first thing from the Entra ID Azure part, we need to create an app. Just go to Enterprise Application, create your own app. You can just name it whatever name if you want, like Wazuh single sign-on. Make sure to choose integrate any other application. So we'll create that application. So it should take few seconds normally, and hopefully so let's just wait for it to be created, and then we will need to go through to app registration and add our role for any user from our Entra ID. Failed to add. I'm not sure. This is what I was. Let's make sure. I think it has been created anyway. Sometimes they give it the error, but it has been created. Okay, so now you go to app registration, go to the app, and now for the manifest we need to add our custom role that will be used for the mapping between our application of Azure Entra ID and the Wazuh indexer. So basically all the information that we will need, this is all the information that we need to have in order to configure the integration in the Wazuh indexer. Okay, so first thing we need to note, let's go back here. I need to have the application ID, take note of it, add it here, and then we need to change it here in this role that I have created, just to be able to copy paste. So we need to add this role to the manifest of in the app registration. Okay, so if we go to manifest, scroll all the way down, search for app roles. Yeah, you can add this in the app roles here. Okay, so save this value, the Wazuh role. It's the one that we will use for the roles mapping in the Wazuh indexer. So we can copy it, then take note of it here. So it will be here. Let's just take note of this guy here. Then we need to assign the user the role that we have just created. Okay, so let's go back to our application and then assign user. You can assign group if you want, but yeah, just for it will be the same process. Okay, it has assigned the Wazuh role because it's the only one that I have in my case. Okay, and then after assigning the role, we need to go back to the application, create configuration for our SAML. Okay, so first thing we need to change to add the entity ID. We can name it, for instance, Wazuh SAML, and then we need to add the ACS URL, and this will be I think I have note of my Wazuh dashboard URL, so it will be this guy, and then we can add the endpoints of the ACS, which will be open distro security SAML ACS. And for the sign-on URL, we can just add the URL of our Wazuh dashboard. Okay, save this guy here. Okay, that should be it for that first part. Then we just add a new claim, and name it roles. That would get the assigned roles of the user. So that's the name of our claim. In our configuration would be the roles key. So you can just add roles here. Then we need just few information in order to finish this. We need the metadata URL. Take note of it. It would be this guy here. And then the SP, this would be the Wazuh SAML, which is the name of our entity ID. And then we need the Microsoft Entra identifier. It would be in this case the IDP entity ID. Okay, so we have here basically all the information that we need to get from the Entra ID or Azure side. Now we just can go and access our Wazuh indexer. So let's access the Wazuh indexer. Here I have my Wazuh indexer, Wazuh dashboard running. Okay, so we need to go to config, go to SAML. If you don't have that part, you need to add it in the authentication, under authentication OC. You need to add the configuration for SAML. Okay, so let's remove this to grab our metadata URL. Let me just go back because I think I need to have a space here. If you don't pay attention with YML, then you will have errors after this. So you can do the same with the entity ID. So just delete this guy here, add space, need to have our IDP entity ID, paste, and I keep the same name for the roles key, entity ID, and also the exchange key. If you want to generate it, you can just use the any tool that would allow you to generate like 64 character long random key. So an example, you can use OpenSSL and you just copy paste this. Okay, so now we need to, after adding the configuration to our config YML, we need to load the configuration using the security admin to load our new config. Okay, and that should be it. For the roles mapping, the same. If just go to the roles mapping and you add the role that we have created in the manifest in the app registration, we can just map it to the role that we want in the Wazuh indexer side. In this case, I'm mapping Wazuh role to all access. Okay, so any user that has this role from the Entra side will have all access. Okay, and on index, everyone has on index by default. Okay, we can just, if you want to push it, but yeah, I have not made any change. Mapping. Okay, next step will be the configuration of the Wazuh dashboard side. So we need to verify that we have in our Wazuh YML, we have run as set to false. Otherwise, we need to create a roles mapping to the Wazuh API through the Wazuh API. Okay, now the last step would be configuring the Wazuh dashboard should have it somewhere. Yeah. Wazuh dashboard, open search Wazuh dashboard, YML, which is the configuration. Make sure that you have SAML for the authentication, and you have all this URLs, endpoints in the allow list. Okay, you can just restart, and that should be it. Let's try if it works. Hopefully, I will try here. Okay, it seems to be good. I am able to get access. Let me just try to get my user, which in this case would be SOC admin, and the password. Probably I will be asked to change it because it's the first time I use it. Yeah, I can use whatever password. Let's try sign in. Hopefully I will be redirected to the Wazuh. Yeah, it seems to be working. And if you see the roles of my SOC admin, you see the backend roles is the Wazuh role that we have created on the Azure side, and also like it's being mapped correctly to all access. Okay, so yeah, you should be able to access Wazuh correctly. Oh well, I hope this helps, and let me know if you have like any questions, or if you want me to add any more details about this. Thank you.